Hey everyone, Spencer Jones here with another episode of the Jones and 4 Show. Thank you so much for being here and listening and watching our show. I truly appreciate all of you, and I hope you are taking ownership of your life, taking leadership of it, and chasing your passions to the max so you can live life to the max and inspire other people to do it. And I hope today's show can help you become stronger and inspire you to live your life to the max. Now, in today's episode, we're talking about how to overcome a hard day. And, we all experience hard days. We all go through hard times in our life, whether that's something that happened at work that was hard, that was a struggle for us, or maybe it's something in our personal life with our family or a friend that's causing us to have this hard day. We all have these days, and I have 7 tips to help you get through these hard times. So if this interests you and you're ready to overcome hard days, keep listening. Please hit subscribe if you can, like this episode, share it out with your friends and your family to help them and inspire them to overcome their hard days, because again, we all go through them. So first, let me get a drink of coffee because I need my coffee. And then we'll get into these 7 steps. Love coffee. So good. So good. Okay. So first thing, right, before we get into the 7 steps is, guess what? Everyone, and I mean everyone, goes through hard days. Think of the most successful person you can think of. Anyone. Got them in your head? They've gone through hard days. They've had tough moments. Think of the happiest, most giddiest person you know, right? The person who's just positive all the time. Take a second, think about that person. Have a person in your head? Guess what? They've gone through a hard time as well. And I would bet that the people who are super successful, who are really happy, have gone through many, many hard days, hard moments where they've struggled and they've come out on top of them like you have. We've all lived, all of us here, if you're watching the show, you have lived through all those tough days, all those tough moments you have. But the people who are super successful, who are really happy, they have really overcome them because they realized what they were and have succeeded them, they overcame those days. So I want you to do that. I want you to be successful. I want you to be happy. I want you to live your life to the max, right? That's why we do these shows. And I have these 7 steps to help you. So let's get into it without any further ado. Here are the Jones and 4 ways, the 7 steps to help you overcome hard days. Well, number 1 is to breathe. When you're faced with this tough situation, whatever it is, maybe someone told you something rough, or all of a sudden something came up at work in a project that you're working on, and it's just like hit your head against the wall, just all of a sudden stop, right? Hit the brakes, everything stopped. Well, you need to stop and breathe. Just breathe. I personally like to breathe through the nose, like 2 or 3 beats or so, and then exhale for 2 or 3 or 4 beats. And I do that just a couple times. Not a ton because you don't want to get lightheaded, but 2 or 3 times. I find that all of a sudden helps me stop. It stops the craziness going around in my brain from going 1,000 miles an hour and anger just going into overdrive, right? It stops it. It lets me stay calmer longer. It lets me clear out any of that anger, and then allows me to focus in on what that problem is, what that situation is, so I can better address it, right? I'm not addressing it out of emotion, out of frustration. I'm coming at it from a more peaceful, more calm place, just by breathing. Now, does that solve it totally? No, but it does help. So breathe, okay? Then, if it's a tough situation and you're in it, and maybe you're in it for a little bit here, look for the positives. What positives can you find in this situation? And, I've been through my share of hard days and hard moments, some that I really wasn't sure how I was going to come out of them. But I looked for the positives in them. I looked for the things in there that I could benefit from, that other people can benefit from, and see how they work together and see how I could amplify those positive results, those positive things from that situation. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to make it easier. Doesn't mean that it's going to all of a sudden, this weight's off my shoulders. No, because that weight's there. That trouble, that stress is still there. But it can ease it up a little bit. And it helps you look into the future to see, okay, we are going to get through this. And because of this experience, I'm going to know this, I'm going to learn this, and oh, look, this will help this person and that person, and it'll help you and help them. So look for the positives in the situation. Now, this third one really fits me, and it fits a lot of other people. And if you are really frustrated, you're angry, maybe someone really made you mad, right? Or situation's just getting at you and it's getting under your skin, you're getting really frustrated and mad about it, work it out, literally. Work out that frustration, right? Whether it could be a walk, it could be a run, maybe you're lifting weights, you're into doing that stuff, right? But physically sweat. Get your heart rate up, sweat it out. Lift heavy, run hard, get out and make yourself sweat. Get the heart pumping. That can help you relieve some of that stress and anger you have inside you by sweating it out. Now, a couple quick warnings with this one, right? One, don't start any physical activity without seeing your doctor, right? The usual warning, right? Check for that. But also, when you, especially if you're lifting, right, or running, make sure you stretch and do all those things first. But when you're pushing yourself, and you're pushing yourself hard, especially when you're angry, and I'm talking from personal experience too, when I'm lifting weights and I'm mad, and I'm really pissed off, and I'm lifting weights, I'm able to lift more because I'm angry, right? So I'm lifting heavier weights and I'm pushing, but sometimes I won't think about my form when I'm doing that, or I get too bold with my weights and I pick too heavy a weight, and I could hurt myself because all of a sudden now I'm being stupid and lifting with my ego and lifting with my frustration as opposed to using my lifting to help me get rid of it, right? So it's this balance that you need. I totally am down for working out, lifting, getting your aggression, getting out your anger, your frustrations out through working out, but be careful, be smart about it, right? Still lift with your brain, watch your form, and don't go hurting yourself because of it. Here's my warning to you, don't hurt yourself, be smart, okay? So that's the third way, is work out your frustrations of a hard day, of a hard moment, of hard things in your life. Number 4, write it out. Write it out in a journal, on a piece of paper. Write out that situation. A lot of the times when we have a situation, something that frustrates us, we hold it inside of us. We hold it inside our brain and we keep building, and it builds and builds and builds and builds. And as it's building, right, it's building in size and in direness, and our emotions start flaring even higher, and anger goes and whatever, right? We can spiral downward in this cycle just by keeping our head. Well, let it out. Write it down on a sheet of paper. Write down the situation. Just use your own words. However you like writing. It could be a full-on story. It could be a couple paragraphs. It could be a couple sentences. It doesn't matter. Whatever works for you. Just write it down. What you're doing is getting it outside of your head on a piece of paper. So then, as we're doing that, you're thinking through the situation. As you're physically writing down, you're thinking it through. You're analyzing that situation. And as you're analyzing, you're seeing, okay, what are the positives from it? What are the negatives from it? How can we overcome this? What's better for it? How can we change this? Right? You're looking at all different aspects of it as you're writing it down. And if you don't get an answer then, or ways to improve at that point, you can keep writing, or just look at it. Look at what you wrote and then think through it, because then you're seeing it. It's not just in your head. You're physically seeing it, and you physically wrote it down. And there's all these biochemical connections between your brain and what you physically wrote, and touch, and all these things that will help you overcome it. And it helps us see it in proportion to what it really is, right? It doesn't let us exaggerate it. It keeps it in perspective. Okay, so write it down. That's the 4th tip to overcome a hard situation, a hard day. The other one is similar to that, but instead of writing it down, is to get it off your chest by sharing it with someone. Sharing it with a trusted friend, a family member, or someone like that, right? Just tell them about the situation. For many of us, and I'm speaking as a guy, for men, I've noticed that we struggle to open up to people. We struggle to open up and share when something really frustrates us and the real meaning behind it. We like to hold that close to us, and we're just afraid to share because, I don't know, maybe we think it makes us less of a man or something, I don't know. But I know men struggle with this, and I'm sure women do too, that we like holding things close to us. We don't want to share them. But share it out, right? You could write it down in a journal, right? That was step 4. But step 5 is share it with someone else, a person, a trusted friend, a family member. Share the story with them. Share what's happening to them. Again, it's going to help you put it into perspective, keep it in perspective, so you're not blowing it out of proportion. And as you're saying it, you might realize, oh man, this happened because of this. And oh, if I say this or I change this will solve this issue, right? You're analyzing it again as you're saying it, which is great because you're looking at it again and you're able to see it from, a slightly different perspective. But also with that, perhaps maybe your family or friend, whoever you're sharing it with, can offer their thoughts and insights into it as well, noticing, oh, maybe this is a situation or that this is happening. They could offer some insights. Now, a little word of caution with that is that they don't have to, right? You could just get it off your chest. And I think that, actually, I know that can be enough just to get it off your chest. Just tell them, hey, I really need you to hear me out with this. I'm struggling. No need for comment or feedback. I just need to get off my chest. Can you listen? Sure, great. Then they'll listen and you get off your chest and that's it. That's cool, right? You don't need to do anything drastic. There's no drastic action that needs to be taken. But if you want and they're willing, they can maybe offer some feedback and some help to you because, they're a different person. Their mind has been through, or they've been through different experiences. Their mind probably works a little differently than yours, so that when you relay your situation or that stress, that trouble you're having, they're going to see it through a different lens. And then they could share that with you, and that can help you shift your perspective on it and look at it through a different lens, look at it differently, and help you overcome that situation. So tip number 5 is to share it out. Share your problems with a friend or a family member. Again, nothing drastic needs to happen, but just a little listening ear can help, or maybe they can offer advice if you want them to. The other thing, we have 2 more. So number 6 is, especially if this happens at work, if a stressful situation happens there, is leave it at the door. Once you leave work, leave it there. I hear so many stories about parents or spouses, you don't necessarily have to get so just spouses, right? That you have this tough situation at work and you're really mad and angry because then this thing at work is just really frustrating you and it's bothering you. And then you come home and you let it bother you at home. You let it affect you, how you treat your family, how you treat your pets, how you do all this stuff, that you have that carryover from that situation. Now, this one isn't easy. This tip is not easy, but leave it at the door, right? So one thing I do when I'm faced with a situation like this is I physically tell myself out loud, leave it at the door. It doesn't leave, this door frame. It stays here. I can come back at this tomorrow and be angry and upset about it tomorrow, but for now, I'm done with it. I'm going home. I'm forgetting about it, and I'm going to spend the time with my family, right? So what I'm doing is I'm telling myself to leave it there, and I'm physically leaving it there. I'm forgetting about it. Will the problem still be there tomorrow? Yeah, probably. But I'll come back to it with a fresher mind. I won't be as angry, and I'm more likely to look at that problem or that situation more objectively and then be able to deal with it. Because in that heat of the moment, I'm probably going to deal with it with more emotions, and that is not always going to be the best thing to help you overcome that and get through it. So I leave it at the door. Leave it. I'll come back with it at it tomorrow or whatever, but right now I'm going to go home, and it's not going to affect how I treat my family, how I treat my spouse, my kids, how I react. I'm going to leave it there because they don't deserve it. They deserve to have you be that loving and caring person that you are. They deserve you at your best, and that isn't at your best. So leave it there, go home, and be your best when you are there with them. Again, this isn't easy. I've made that mistake countless number of times, and I'm sure I still will, because we're human and we make mistakes. But and know that that's okay. Know that it's okay that you had it before, and know that it's okay it might happen again. But do your best to not. Do your best to be your best self when you are home, when you're with your family, or when you're with your loved ones. Be your best. And the third, oh, I'm totally off numbers. Hold on, I need more coffee then. Okay. 1 second. Thank you. The seventh, not third, but the seventh tip is to meditate. Now, meditation, as you've watched and listened to these shows before, you know I've talked about meditation before, and many people think that this is far-off Eastern thing that, the Buddhists do and other people do who are hippies, and like, what's this meditation? But guess what? It's not just this craziness. It's not just for Buddhists. It's not for hippies. It's for everyone. Meditation just means slowing yourself down to free up your mind, to free up yourself from the confines of the emotions, the anger, well, that's emotion, right? All the emotions and thoughts you're feeling. It frees you from it. So meditate. Now, when I meditate over certain tasks, or situations or emotions or things I'm feeling or thinking, here's what I do. I find a place to sit comfortably. Sometimes I lie down on the bed or on the floor at times if it's comfortable. Usually I just sit, hands comfortable, shoulders comfortable. I'm not, big into the certain poses. And again, you don't have to be, but whatever. Just, sit comfortably, lay down, whatever. And I breathe. I breathe in through my nose and exhale through my mouth, or sometimes I breathe in and exhale through my nose. And I concentrate on the breath. I do this for, it's nice slow breaths, nothing fast, but I just concentrate on the breath for like 4, 5, 6 breaths. Something like that, where I'm just able to slow myself down, slow my brain down, and concentrate on the single thing. What does the air feel like going in and out of my nose or mouth? And what is that sensation? And I'm open to that, and I'm letting everything else go. Everything else go. When another thought pops in my head, I say, I see you, or I acknowledge you, not right now, and I dismiss it, right? I send it away, and then I just come back to that breath, And then once I feel calm, I'll think about those situations. I'll think about that thing that's bothering me, right? That hardship. And I try not to think about it from my perspective, because then my emotions can get kicked up, right? Instead, I try to look at it from this outer perspective, right? Like you're telling your friend and you're taking your friend's place. You're looking from the outside in as you're meditating, looking from this problem through different lenses, through different angles, and seeing about it, and then seeing what it does to you, how it affects you, how it affects the people around you, and maybe solutions for it. You're just meditating, you're just thinking about it, but not thinking hard. You're not trying to like pound something out or get answers. You're just letting your mind think freely. Coming back to the breath as you need, and if other thoughts come in that don't fit it exactly, acknowledge them, dismiss them, right? But just meditate, just be open, be free. And then when I'm done, when I feel like, okay, I'm good with this for the moment, I come back to my breath for 2, 3 breaths, and then I'm come back to my room or wherever I'm sitting or laying down, and that's what I do when I meditate. It sounds crazy, but just being able to slow down your mind and slow down your thoughts and your emotions, just to be freer, to open up your mind to welcome other thoughts, to have all these other thoughts come in as other thoughts about that one thing you're thinking about, right? Coming in can help tremendously. While other times, maybe all these other thoughts come your way and you just have to dismiss it. Like, nope, not right now, focusing on this, and that can help you. So these are just some ways, these 7 tips are ways that I have used to overcome hard days, and I know many successful people have used to get through these hard days, because that's where I learned them from, right? By listening to and watching really successful people and seeing how they get through hard and stressful days. Remember that we all go through them. We all go through hard days. And these hard moments, these tough situations, they make us who we are. And that's how we grow and we mature, by overcoming them, right? You have survived all the hard days you have gone through so far. You've survived every single one. But some of the times we haven't grown, we haven't matured through them. But I challenge you that every tough situation that you've had, to look at it, look for the positives. How can you learn? How can you grow from it? How can you mature through those tough experiences? Because that's how you're going to become better, and that's how you are truly going to overcome those tough moments, those hard days, and be more successful, be more positive, and be living your life to the max. I really hope these 7 tips have helped you, and I hope that, you're going to have hard days. It's bound to happen. It happens to all of us. I hope that you can use some of these tips the next time you have a tough moment, a tough day, and you can overcome it. And let me know. Let me know if that does help you. Share it on social media. Message me, right? On Facebook, on Instagram, at Jones&Ford. Just let me know. I would love to find out and hear how these tips have helped you. And if you like these, share it out. Subscribe to our show. Share this out with your friends, your family, on social media. Tag me in it and let me know with all that good stuff. All right, folks, thank you so much for watching this episode. Or listening, whatever you're doing. Thank you so much. I truly appreciate all of you. You are awesome. You are amazing. Without you, we couldn't be doing this. So thank you, and thank you. And until next time, I will catch you all later.